Hey guys, just chilling here. Some more cigar stories for you. Pretty cool location. I'll show you a bit of this here. That's a dolphin backbone that washed up on the beach right there. Pretty cool. But we're just kind of chilling here. And what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is written law versus practice law, and your rights, God-given rights and constitutional rights in the U.S., and how written law may differ from practice law. And it's kind of a safety issue for just the common average citizen, and something I feel like everybody should be aware of. The thing is your rights as you're told, or as you may believe that they exist, is not exactly the truth. It's not, it's the difference between written law and practice law. So written law may tell you that you have the right to bear arms, for example, but obviously there's multiple constitutional infringements that are carried out by multiple organizations, law enforcement operations in the government that have stripped many citizens of those rights. There's illegal searches and seizures that occur every day. There's you know, a lot of self-defense laws. I can speak personally on this. There's self-defense laws on the books that are just not enforced as they are written. And we've all heard of stupid laws as well. Law that might still be on the books that says, you know, there's a South Florida small town that there was a law on the books for up until the 2000s. I'm not even sure if it's still on there. That said, when you get out of serving a year in jail, they have to give you a horse and a pony, because it's a horse and a pistol, because it's a dangerous. It was Wild West type laws that are still on the books. There's a lot of laws in Alabama, for example, that disallow you to carry a Bowie knife, because those laws were written to give northern government officials an upper hand and a reason and a way to arrest ex-Confederate soldiers. And those Bowie knife laws are still on the books in Alabama. I'll give you another example of a gross rights violation, and that's civil forfeiture laws. And basically, any police officer can take anything that you have that they want. They don't even have to charge you with a crime in the United States. They can just take it and say that they thought, all they have to do is say, I thought that maybe you were in the process of committing a crime. If you have money, they can say, well, I have reason to believe that you have a lot of cash on you, and only criminals carry this much cash, so I'm going to take it for your own safety. And that's civil forfeiture laws. And every single day, police steal from average citizens, just so they can fund the militarization of their police forces. Just something we should all be aware of. So, and how this applies to us and how this helps us is, we need to understand and we need to take precautions for ourselves in those situations. And basically, we need to nobody's got your back like you think. So you need to watch out for number one, and take care of yourself. Watch out for yourself. And, you know, and I'm not going to condone anything illegal or tell you to do anything illegal, but if it comes down to a fact where you have to defend yourself, you need to take into consideration what happened and what's going to happen before you call the police, or before you report it, if you have the opportunity that it's not reported, for example. Or if you get into a situation where you need to defend yourself, you need to be prepared to deal with not only a jury trial, not only police trying to put you in our for-profit prison system and use you for slave labor. You need to be aware that it could even if you do beat all that, if you have a lot of money to spend on lawyers and such to prove your innocence, and you're willing to lose all that money, then you need to be prepared, if you don't kill that person in that self-defense situation, to go to civil court and be sued over it, and lose more money. So, you know, it is a system, and the system works very much differently than it's intended to. Uh, there's systems that have outside influences, and where there's areas where it's somewhat mafia controlled, so to speak, cult controlled, or for example, Utah, where there's no separation of church and state, and the majority of the judicial officers are of one particular cult, under the banner. It's a religious type of cult, and they take their orders primarily from the hierarchy of their religious system, and then later the secondary option is to follow any kind of a constitutional or a government law. It's actually a state ran by an organization of people who believe themselves to be a separate entity above the United States that they live in, and if you look at the history of the forming of the state, it was formed as its own sovereign nation. So there's just a lot of little things that you guys need to be aware of, where you're at and what's going on, and just don't just listen to everything you hear. You know, take everything with a grain of salt. Question everything. Do your own investigations and figure out for yourself what's the real story of what's going on. Another example would be, you have the right to defend yourself against a false arrest. Well, that's only a written law. That's not a practice law. If you try and resist any kind of illegal arrest in the United States, you'll just be charged with more charges, and then the original charges that were illegal, or that may have been false charges, or the false arrest, will then be verified, because the judicial system will say you were resisting arrest, you know, battery on a law enforcement officer, certain things of that nature, which are actually your constitutional rights and God-given rights, you know, as the ability to defend yourself, you know, against a kidnapping is exactly what an illegal arrest would be. But you know, before you get into that situation, you need to be aware that it really doesn't matter. So try, you know, unfortunately, that's why it's been a long time in our country, in the U.S., since law enforcement has ever helped anybody. And if you think about it, what their initial organization to protect and serve, what are they protecting and serving anymore? You know, if your life is in danger and you call the police, by the time that any kind of help arrives, the situation's over. So you have to be able to, and willing and able and ready to take care of yourself. And then in that situation now, in 2018, you calling the police if you're in danger would only hurt you, because when the situation's over, if you survive that situation, situations I've been in, having somebody try and kill you, surviving the situation, and then the police get there, and now you're getting arrested for defending yourself, okay? Even if it's clearly self-defense, doesn't matter, you know? There's always practice law versus written law, so something to look at. And then, even like I said, even if you beat it, you could lose hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in attorney fees, court costs. You're going to lose your job, everything like that, you know. And I've done all of it. I've been there and done all of it, so multiple times. And I've had lots of charges against me, and I've beat 2 life sentences because of self-defense charges that were against me. The first time it was punishable by life, 25 to life in Florida when I was 18 years old. It happened again. I defended myself, and the police tried to pursue everything they could up until the point where they realized that I had the means to fight it, and I spent twice everything I worked my entire life to earn, and more than I had, borrowed money and everything I could to defend myself. And you know, that's why I don't want that situation to happen to you. So, you know, the best involvement now is, you know, stay as far away from any kind of a police force that you can. And it's funny because everybody else in the world knows that. You know, everywhere else in the world, everyone knows that police are corrupt, and in the United States is one of the only countries where we've managed to fool our citizens into thinking that there's no corruption. And so actually, unfortunately, we're the best at corruption in the U.S. So it's just one of those things, and pretty terrible thing. But you know, look out for yourself and be smart, guys. Be open-minded. And why am I making this video? Am I trying to bash anyone in particular? No, actually, exactly the opposite. I'm calling for change. I myself am doing everything I can in my life to promote change, help others, and be the change that I want to see in the world. And you know, I have the opportunity to influence some people and speak out on negative things and bad things and terrible things, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm standing up for it. You know, I'm not gonna start a revolution, no, because, you know, a lot of reasons, but I'm gonna do everything I can to peaceably protest for change in the world. And I don't think our country's too far gone. I think it's savable still if certain people in the right places stand up and do the right thing. We can get rid of corruption. We can give power back to, look at this little guy here. We can give, missed it, cool little lizard. We can give power back to the people. Our country was founded on the principles of power in the hands of the people, a strong, a small but effective government. Now it's just, anytime you have a group of people, there's gonna be corruption. It's just human nature, and we've just got too much power in the hands of government. We need to give power back to the people, restore some natural law, some natural rights, and we can do that. So you can do your part just by commenting, promoting, helping me out, sharing this video. If you like what I'm doing, if you like my my outreach programs, giving to the homeless, you know, we're helping with medical supplies, and I'm helping, you know, route planning and transporting people, doctors to areas that have never had medical attention, building roads and schools for people that have never had schools. I'm helping with the logistics any way I can, collecting donations, giving food, giving clothes. I'm trying to get food as well. It's hard to get non-perishable goods here, but I've been giving clothes to the homeless, and a lot of donation items as well. So, you know, anytime you support Bone Tactical, anytime you buy one of these cool shirts, tomahawks, knives, anything like that, shameless plug, part of that money goes towards me helping out, you know, everyone I can in third world countries and in the United States, and everyone. This tomahawk you see in this picture here is in use with U.S. Special Forces. I donate them. I give them the tomahawks for free. I don't ask them for anything. They send me pictures sometimes. They send me some pictures I can't post, which, you know, I have those. Those are part of my collection. It's part of what I enjoy, why I do what I do, because, you know, kind of like I have some trophy pictures and stuff that I can't show anybody, but I like that kind of stuff, you know, and it means something to me. And I do have some pictures online on the website of, you know, this stuff in use with my friends that are currently in special operations, and we're using it down here ourselves on our security teams, all over the world. Europe, just got back from Europe. I'm a little hesitant to go back because of some things that the power of U.S. government managed to get involved in an international, basically another one of my false arrests. This happened overseas and everything. So but I'm here and working God's plan for my life, and just wanted to help you guys today, take a second and help you to be more informed and not be a sheep. All right, so don't be a sheep. Bone out.